What's up everyone, K-Nader Gaming here, and it is time for another video. And today, doing something a little different. I have my friend Trey here.
Hello.
And we are going to be doing a tier list. And it's not your usual tier list. It is from Super Smash Bros, but it is going to be on all the bosses throughout the games. I believe there's only technically Brawl 4 and Ultimate, but it'll be the bosses from those. Now, me and Trey have played a lot of Smash. I don't even know how many hours.
It's probably close to the thousands, if not more.
It's ridiculous. We've played, well, not too much. You can never play too much Smash Bros.
That's true.
But yeah, we're gonna get straight into this, starting with our first boss on the list, Crazy Hand.
Crazy Hand. Better than Master Hand or worse?
Worse.
Worse?
He doesn't have that.
He's not as iconic.
He doesn't have that iconic, but he is funny. That laugh intro is
That's true.
is great.
I think starting off solid B tier.
Yeah, I think B tier. He's a great mid. He's
the baseline.
He's got good pluses. You know, he has some minuses, but he's a good solid middle. Next one is Darkon.
I like Darkon way more than Galeem.
Darkon is way better than Galeem.
Yeah. That being said,
evil.
Galeem is really low. So.
And Galeem's not great, so it's not saying a whole lot. I do love his textures, though. I think he's done really well. But I personally wouldn't put him up here. I think he's better than Crazy Hand.
Yeah, he's high B, low A. We'll see how it shakes out in the end.
We might move him around a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's good for now.
Yeah.
Though.
Next we have Dracula. Now he's one of those weird bosses because Ultimate had all those in classic mode. Those like mini boss. They're boss fights, but they're like mini boss fights. And so I don't know.
I think he was one of the best ones.
You liked him better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd probably put him second among all the Ultimate bosses. But
yeah, I did like him. He definitely was one of the more interesting ones. So I think
I'd put him A.
I think A tier is good.
Yeah.
All right, now we're moving to the good old subspace emissary bosses.
Yeah, subspace.
Duon. Duon? I don't even know how you say it.
Duon.
I had a list of all the names, but it seems to have disappeared, so we're going off our memory. Oh.
And I don't remember this guy hardly at all, so
yeah,
that should
as
tell
you said earlier, you find him on the halberd, and
that's it.
I mean, I do. It's a cool mechanic how he spins around.
That's true.
That's cool.
That's true. And if I remember, one's like physical and one's ranged attack, so it's a cool gimmick, but
the problem is he's not very iconic because we clearly didn't remember him very well. So I'm thinking low B. I don't think he's much worse than that because he has the spinning. So
he might. He might end up being C tier, but we'll see.
If he might move down. Speaking of going down, Galeem.
It's like, oh, you're a cool final boss, and then it's like, oh yeah, you're not at all the final boss.
And it also hurt that we went from Brawl's story mode to the next story mode being Ultimate, and man, is it a letdown. I mean, you go from
we'll
crazy boss fights. Yeah, we'll get to more Brawl ones later, but Galeem just doesn't compare. I'm thinking
at least C, maybe.
At least C.
Probably C.
Well, he might. If we don't get anyone in D tier, he'll probably move down. That way, we have an even spread.
Yeah, I can only think of one other person that might be D tier, but we'll get to them later.
We'll get there. All right, Galeem.
I really like Galeem, but I also just like playing as Lucas, and you get to destroy this guy as Lucas.
I do remember really enjoying his boss fight, and I feel like he had a lot more variety than the others. It didn't feel like it was 2 moves, because almost all the boss fights
he was also
feel like 2-3 moves. So
like you could fight him as Pokemon Trainer and Lucas, and I like playing as those characters.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
thinking high A tier, because I really enjoyed those
I think best so far.
All right, Ganon. Definitely, in my opinion, one of the better of the Ultimate boss fights.
Top half for sure.
I personally liked him more than Dracula. I don't know about you.
Yeah, they're probably 2 and 3. I think I'd put Dracula above him, but
Dracula.
I mean, it's your tier list. You put him above him.
We'll flip a coin. We'll put him behind because I lost way too many times to Ganon, and I have a little bit of a.
He's literally on screen right now, so yeah, we'll put him above. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Next, we have Giga Bowser. Man. I love Bowser, don't get me wrong. Bowser is just one of my favorite, but this boss fight just did not hit the spot.
I would put him probably a little higher just because I played Melee, and in the events, there's like the last event is you fight Giga Bowser, and at the time that was unheard of, and so it was really
I did not know that. See, you can tell the bit of an age gap.
Yeah, just a little bit,
But yeah, I just going from because Brawl had I remember that's my
that was
first
Giga
play
Bowser.
Bowser, and that Giga Bowser was so cool. And then seeing him now, that's what they use. I'm like,
he just gets to punch the screen. It's like it's not as cool.
Yeah, I feel like they missed. We'll go low B.
Yeah,
we'll go low
that's
B.
fair.
Marks. I have a soft spot for Marks because
I do too.
for Kirby Star Allies, I believe, the multiplayer crazy one, you can play as Marks, and he was the only character I played as. So he is, and I think he's just hilarious because he's wearing a jester hat. He looks terrifying, but he's from Kirby, so it doesn't make sense. Kirby, okay, random thing. Kirby has some of the most terrifying bosses.
It does.
Like
for the cutest little pink puff ball,
excluding
Jigglypuff.
Yeah. Okay. Don't tell Kyle. But I've played I don't know how many Kirby games, not a whole lot, but it always ends up like the boss fights are intense.
Like Return to Dreamland.
Even the original.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the original.
You fight Dedede and you're like, oh, that's pretty basic. And then this like crazy nightmare guy comes out of nowhere, and you're like, what's going on?
That being said, I think Marks was the best of the mini bosses in Ultimate. So I'd be willing to put him up in S tier, or at least high.
I mean, I'm up for S tier.
Yeah, I like Marks quite a bit. I thought he was the most challenging, and I was like, oh, this is actually good.
And once again, he had variety because that's like Ganon and Dracula. It felt like the same moves, and then once you learned it, was like, okay, this is kind of annoying.
Like when I was playing World of Light, I expected, Bowser will be a mini boss, Ganon, Dracula, sure. I did not expect Marks, and he came at like the very end, and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty sweet. It was
awesome. All right, now for the only, I believe, original boss from Smash 4, Master Core.
I literally didn't remember this boss.
Yeah, I forgot. When I looked at this list the other night, I was like, who is that? Oh, that's Master Core. I forgot he was in the game. It just... There's nothing special. I mean, you fight Master Hand and Crazy Hand, and then they join to make Master Core, and you're like, wow, that was a step down.
Yeah, if I remember, he has different forms and stuff.
He does.
Right? And then at the very end, it's just the core, and you have to hit it like a home run.
As you do harder and harder classic mode, he gets more and more different.
Yeah,
there's the swords, the crocodile thing, and then you fight yourself.
Yeah, and then there's the maze, and then there's all sorts of stuff. But
I liked him better than Galeem because the music. I remember the soundtrack being really good for Master Core. That's the one thing I remember, and I guess we remembered a little bit more, but I don't know. I personally did like
Smash 4
him.
is just so forgettable for me.
Yeah,
which is weird because I loved that game whenever I was playing it, and then Ultimate came out, and I was like,
Ultimate just shoved it to the back. I was like, get out of here. All right, Master Hand.
I mean, probably S tier. He has to be.
Just the. I mean, he's so iconic. He's just such a good villain. Kind of a weird villain when you really break it down. He's just
a giant floating hand.
But he's great. And, I mean, that was like the first boss fight you ever do in Smash. Like, first real boss fight. Because, I mean, the story mode has him, but when you fight Master Hand, it just...
And I just remembered, different. Don't you get to play as him in Ultimate? Am I misremembering that?
I don't think so. That
you get to, because I remember you get to do a little thing for like, it's only for like half a fight or something.
Is that Ultimate?
I think it's Ultimate. Let's do some research.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, I can't remember. Now that you say that,
I remember being able to like use his moves.
Super familiar. If he is, he's gonna go S tier above Marks because that's just awesome. Because
I'm pretty sure you can.
I mean, that would make him technically not the only playable boss on this because there are some others coming up.
It says Master Hand is playable in Ultimate in a special event battle found in World of Light. Elsewhere in other games, he's only playable via glitches and other hacking. But yeah, I thought he was playable, and just for that one little fight, and
man,
yeah, that. And did you know he was also in a Kirby game also as like a villain? I think it was you'll have to double check this. I'm pretty sure it was the Amazing Mirror because that's also Sakurai created Kirby and Smash, so. Yeah, so Kirby villains only in S tier. Yeah, he's number one.
Once again, Kirby villains are just good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's more of like a cameo, but it's still really cool, though.
Yeah, still. Meta Ridley.
Meta Ridley. That's the one on Captain Falcon's ship.
That's Captain Falcon's ship.
Yeah.
It's a hard boss fight.
Actually, that is a hard boss fight because Diddy Kong's one of the characters, and I hate Diddy Kong.
I just remember he has that dumb move where he slams into the back, and if you don't jump, you just die.
You just die.
And it's so annoying. But I mean, I guess that makes a good boss fight.
Yeah. Insta-kill does make you a good boss.
I don't know. I'm conflicted with this one. I think middle.
Definitely above the C tier too.
Yeah. He's not terrible. And it's a good solid boss fight if you're looking for a challenge.
I wouldn't say he's better than Crazy Hand, so right there should be good. Yeah, that would work for me.
Moving on to PD Piranha. I mean, this is the first
First
fight.
boss.
It's so good.
Excluding Master Hand. But yeah.
Yeah, first boss fight in Brawl.
Subspace, yeah.
Yeah,
The
in
one that
Subspace.
actually counts.
Yeah. And you have to be Kirby and Mario. And I mean, it's
Yep.
hard to go
Yep.
wrong with that. Oh,
I mean,
don't
Zelda's
know.
there, so it's automatically good for me.
Oh, yeah, true.
Peach is also there, I guess.
Man, I don't know. This is PD Piranha is also just a. I keep right clicking. PD Piranha is also just a good character in general.
Yeah, I do like Petey quite a bit, especially in Mario Baseball. He's fun.
I
He just
personally
swings
am
his
thinking
leaf.
either high B or low A. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking the same spot.
We do have a lot in B.
Yeah, no, I think
I feel like low A
him
just
and,
for.
him and Dark. Yeah, that's a good cutoff.
Yeah.
That's a good cutoff for A.
I mean, he's definitely behind these three because he's so easy.
Yeah,
he's
he is
so
fairly easy.
First boss, it's expected, but
Do you just fight him the one time in Brawl?
I think
I
so.
think you do.
I think you beat
Yeah,
up.
well, yeah, because then he turns into the purple
Yeah.
carpet
yeah.
bomb.
you beat up a cage and then
And then he
You win.
explodes. Yeah. And then you find out it's Meta Knight. He's evil.
yeah. Alright, moving on to Porky Minch. The music's good. I like
Very good
I like
music.
the
I
theme.
love Porky's theme.
And it's a good boss fight.
And you can play as Lucas.
and it's yeah,
It's like
Lucas.
that's my favorite part of Subspace is that
Everything
little
on this
stretch.
I like this boss. Why? Well, Lucas, you know.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh,
you
good
can just
reason.
PK, you
Very
can just
good
PK
reason.
freeze him. That's it.
I don't know. I
That being
definitely.
said, the boss fight itself isn't great.
Yeah. Man, I feel so many of these bosses are just right in the middle.
Yeah.
Like they're not iconic enough or crazy enough for me to, put them up here, but they're also it's not a bad boss fight.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think he'd be high C, low B.
Yeah,
for
I'm
me.
thinking I personally did like him better than Giga Bowser. I just really didn't like the
That's
Giga
true. The
Bowser
ultimate
fight.
Giga Bowser wasn't very good.
And so I'm thinking about right there.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Moving on to Rathalos. I
Rath-
right-clicked again. I'm so bad at this.
You need a right click counter
I
in
know.
this video.
I'm probably going to have to add one. All right. This boss fight.
Very cool. Very surprised that Rathalos was in the game as an assist trophy
I
and then a
was-
boss fight. Like that
I
blew my
was-
mind.
I didn't even know what the game was when I first saw it, and then I looked it up. I was like, okay, that's cool.
It's
that's
so
a cool little
unsmash
addition there.
until Steve got in. And you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
and then Steve made
anything
it like,
smash.
okay, everything's fair game now. I still can't get over that.
Could you imagine if they did an update to World of Light and there was just a Minecraft boss?
The
Like-
Ender
like,
Dragon.
that's the Ender Dragon. It just replaces
They just switch
Rathalos.
him out and just put the Ender Dragon in. That'd be great.
That would be funny.
If anyone working on the new Smash game, Sakurai, if you watch
Yep.
this, we want the Ender Dragon instead. Nothing wrong with Rathalos, but I think you'll have a lot more Ender Dragon fans out there. Oh, but where do we put it though? That's
From
the
what I
question.
remember, he wasn't a hard boss fight necessarily. You just have to hit the tail, I think.
I think it's the tail. Well, you can put him to sleep and then you beat him up. I
That's
remember
right.
that.
That's right. Yeah, you can like stun him and yeah. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to split up the B tier here towards
Yeah.
the end, but
I'm gonna fix this already. I don't think he was quite as cool as that dragon there.
true.
As that Meta Ridley, but I do think he has a little bit of that ultimate flair that Duon
Yeah.
just couldn't have in Brawl.
That's true.
And
That's
before we
true.
go any further, I'm sorry, Bowser. We gotta make room.
Yep.
And I already
No.
know we're just gonna
yeah,
move him down there.
eventually, yeah.
He just I wanted to like the ultimate story, but there's no story.
Yeah.
That kind of defeats the
I think there's
purpose.
like 3 or 4 cutscenes in the entire game, and it's like
And like two of them are
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
One's light, one's dark. It's moving on to probably one of your favorites,
yeah, this was really cool.
Rayquaza.
Let's see, Brawl came out. I was like 8 or 9 somewhere around that had one. Ding. So yeah, fighting like one of the coolest looking Pokemon ever. Like that was really cool.
I'll let you place this one. Since you're the
I am
diehard
the
fan.
resident expert.
yeah, I would say.
I think definitely above Petey. And like he was kind of challenging, and you had to play as Fox, which you hate Fox.
Man, I don't know how you remember all the characters. I
played a lot of Brawl.
I haven't played Brawl in years, but
I think that's probably a good place.
Right there in the middle?
Yeah.
and now moving to a boss that I totally forgot was in the game, regular Ridley.
Yeah. Not
It's-
as memorable as Meta Ridley.
It's not Meta Ridley,
Yeah.
but I mean, I completely forgot it was in the game, so that kind of says something.
That puts him in the Master Core
and
area.
that puts him in this area of, oh yeah, you're in the game. The boss fight, you play as Samus and Pikachu, which isn't horrible, but when you know you get to fight Meta Ridley later,
Yeah.
it doesn't have quite that coolness.
I mean, it was kind of cool because he wasn't a playable character yet. And it's like, oh, you actually finally get to fight Ridley, and then Meta Ridley, and then Ridley just became a character. So I was like, okay.
Definitely somewhere in C.
I don't think he's as cool as Giga Bowser, personally.
Yeah, he doesn't have the coolness of, but the boss fight was good.
Yeah.
But
just not as good as
Meta
Ridley.
Yeah. Moving on to our final character boss in this list. Taboo. This is a hard boss fight. I still remember he has that one attack that hits the screen.
Yeah,
he just does that little
rings.
Ring. It's and when we first played it, I didn't know what to do. I was like, how do you beat this?
How do you spot dodge?
Yeah, of course. That's when I'm playing I need to dodge, so I just hold down B just to shield.
Yep.
Like it's not working. Oh man, I was not good at Smash.
Like, I wonder if we go back and play Subspace now, like, oh, it's just a cakewalk, or is it actually still challenging?
I mean, Taboo also had those levels leading up are so good.
The whole
everyone finally teaming up on him.
Oh, I got this. The Great Maze, is that what it's called? The final four.
Yes, it's hard though.
Yeah, it is.
You spend so long on those levels because you just go through a door, and then you go through another door, and then another door, and another door.
You can just fight Taboo like whenever you want, basically. Like that's really, really cool.
Yeah, he is a great climax for that game.
Yes.
He is an awesome ending.
I probably S tier.
I feel like you have
such a good final boss.
You have to, but the question is where in S tier.
Could you imagine if he would have been playable in World of Light? Like if he came back out of nowhere.
You play him as the final instead of Master Hand. You play as Taboo and fight.
That would be crazy.
Insane. Then if you ace everything in the game, you unlock him.
I think.
He's got to be ahead of Marks.
I don't think he's as good / iconic.
Master Hand just has that. I don't know, that originality to him that makes him so cool.
When you think of Smash Bros, like Master Hand is one of the first things you think of.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of Mario, and then you think of Master Hand.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But yeah, I think that list is pretty good. I'm happy with it. Trying to see if there's any big changes to make.
Yeah, same.
The only big change I can think is making another tier to put.
Right click.
Put Galeem in a lower. He just didn't cut it.
He's just.
But Darkon. I mean, the best
basically the same thing.
The best part is Darkon is exactly the same.
But he's night mode.
But he's dark mode. You turned on night mode and everyone loves that so much better.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it altogether.
Yeah, I am too.
I think. Master Core is definitely in the right spot. We might have been a little generous with him.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, if you wanted to make another tier for Galeem, D tier would just be Master Core. So
yeah, we just move them both down one. Oh well. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. If you want more tier list, also let me know. I mean, I'm sure Trey would be more than happy to join me again. He's a great guest. Probably knows video games a little bit better than me. Certain ones.
Yeah, certain ones. Like
he doesn't know Minecraft very well.
Minecraft.
Minecraft's not his forte. So, but yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.